can't continue being a person in the industry without making sure the next generation and the new generation, they get this information and they get this education. This is why that R&B Kit is an exchange of information, but we're going to be educating, because I know that had I had an opportunity, or if I had the access to this type of information, my career would not have gone the way that it went. What up, world? I am Q Parker.
I am Sakina LeStage.
And this is Dat R&B Kit Podcast.
Hey.
This is our very first episode. And so I am just extremely excited that we have finally gotten to episode number 1. Something that, we've talked about it. We have strategized. We have aligned our thoughts. And just come up with everything that we feel like we can add to the podcast world, but just doing it a little bit different, so that I can honestly say that I was bit by the podcast bug. And after watching so many people do it and just kind of researching and pulling and extracting and all of those things, I said, if I'm going to do a podcast, it has to be done just from a different angle. And so on that R&B Kit, I can honestly tell you that you won't see every episode with, me talking to one of my friends or a fellow artist. It won't be that. Will there be some here and there? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that R&B Kit is edutainment. We're going to entertain, but the most important part to me is educating. And it being some us dishing out some education, and the way that I got here, Sakina, with the idea, been in the game for 30 years,
but you're only 22, so that's crazy.
You know what? Yes, that's that R&B. I got that R&B Kit on me. It does that to you. I'm telling you.
Got it.
But being in the game, 30 plus years, I have just been able to see how there are certain components that R&B artists need to have in order to have a successful career. Right. Certain tools, right? And so when we're talking about that R&B Kit, that's essentially what it is.
Right.
It's us talking about all of the things that are needed for an R&B artist. That's artist development. That's all of those things. And so I'm really excited. I'm also excited to have you as my co-host.
Thank you.
Just a little bit, y'all. She is like the ultimate little sister. I mean, we laugh, we joke, we fight, we argue. So you're probably going to see some of that. Mm-hmm. We don't agree on everything.
We don't.
There's always a joke. There's always a dig. So it's that normal sister, brother. Mm-hmm. So how you feel? This is episode number 1. How you
first
feel?
of all, thank you for having me as a co-host.
Absolutely.
As much as we go at it, I wasn't sure who you was going to pick, but you picked me, so here I am. But thank you. I feel incredible. This is something I'm very passionate about, being in the business a long time myself. I've obviously been a fan of yours forever since before we met, and then meeting you and working with you, and having the opportunity to then say that we're friends, and now building something like this together is super exciting for me. So I feel incredible. I feel so good.
Nervous?
I don't really get nervous. Nervous doesn't suit me.
How you feel? People, they gonna critique. They gonna comment.
Well, come they critique and do it fast. They gonna come for you. They gonna come for me. Come fast, okay? Come fast.
Come with it.
I'm with it. So for me, I'm excited. I think that there's so much room for perspective in the creative space. And so I think that you and I have often had, we have mirroring perspective, but we also can see things very differently. So I welcome that, from our audience as well. I don't think that everybody has to agree, but I think that because we're coming at it from an educational standpoint, we know what works, and what works, and it works all the time, and if it stops working, we start to change and grow. And that's where we'll see expansion. And you and I are people that have managed to not only have a great career, but sustain one as well. So the stuff we're giving you, you know, you're not gonna get everywhere. You got to come over here and get it out the kit. You got to get it out the R&B kit.
And so you'll hear us over and over and over and over. You will get tired of us saying Dat R&B Kit. It is just that important to me.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. So the question that I asked when coming up with this idea was, why UQ? What is your why? And I feel like I am super qualified to be given this type of information and education, because to be in an industry for as long as I've been in it and not learn, not digest, embrace so many things in the information, would be almost like going on a journey and just not paying attention to how you got there. So somebody say, how did you get here? I don't even know. I fell asleep during the ride, but we got here. That's never been me. I've always been a very attentive, I'm a surveillance dude. I'm a scan the room and all of that. And so anytime I'm in a room with anybody that has some information, I'm like a sponge. And so for 30 years, I have been in rooms and rubbed elbows with Sean Combs, Leo Cohen, Kevin Lyles, Russell Simmons, Devon Stevens, Kevin Wells, Courtney Seals, Al Jamal, and so to be so connected to all of those greats, when we talk about just the evolution of R&B and the contributors to the R&B industry, those names are going to be mentioned, because not only have they just signed artists, but they have cultivated artists.
They've created culture.
Absolutely.
The music business is what it is because of those
people.
You know?
And then, so my era of the 90s, you were not going to be an artist without going through Devon Stevens.
Right.
We mentioned somebody like Kevin Wells. K Wells is just a legend in and of himself. From 112, Jagged Edge, Usher, Monica, TLC, B5, ABC. Man, and I know I'm just missing some names, but when I tell you, being under his guidance and us being signed to his production company, that's the very first time I understood the words artist development. And I'm so glad that we came into the industry the way that we came in it, because Kevin is the best artist developer that I know. And I know my career, my maturation, my development would not be what it is without. And I'm talking about cracking the whip. Yeah. Like, don't go
No,
off.
he don't play. Yeah.
What?
He's still doing it. I was just on his page the other day, and I was
still
like,
doing it. So when we start throwing out these words that are inside that R&B kit, understand that there's a meaning behind every one of them. And we talk about not just embracing them, but you got to live this stuff.
You have to live it.
You got to live it. And I mean, he was on us every day. Devon Stevens, Al Jamal, Courtney Seals. And so everything that I've been able to get, I want to give. Every lesson, every pitfall, every bad contract, every missing the words in the performance, forgetting my steps, my moves, feeling like I'm not good enough. You know, where do I go to pick myself back up? Yeah. All of those traits are things that I got early on that are now a part of my kit. Right. And so for me, I can't continue being a person in the industry without making sure the next generation and the new generation, they get this information and they get this education. This is why that R&B Kit is an exchange of information, but we're going to be educating, because I know that had I had an opportunity, or if I had the access to this type of information, my career would not have gone the way that it went. What's up, y'all? I am Q Parker, and I am so excited to announce the Q Parker Summer Music Camp. This is a interactive camp we are calling all vocalists and producers between the ages of 13 to 17. If this is you, I need your attention right now. The subjects what we will be tackling during this 2-week summer camp is songwriting, music business 101, intro to orchestra, performance, voice, and production and recording. Now I need y'all to go right now, summermusiccamp.com and send in your audition as well as register. Limited spaces available, so I need y'all to go right now. The Q Parker Summer Music Camp. I cannot wait to see y'all. Now, I don't hate the way my journey went, but I know that it could have gone a lot smoother in the beginning had we had some of these or outlets like Dat R&B Kit.
Right. But it takes you to do it. Like it has to be the first person to experience it to then go and teach it, right?
So Sakina, tell the people. So what's your journey? Tell the people
to Dat R&B Kit. Well, honestly, when I first started in the business, I was so eager. Like everyone would always say, like, "Who do you want to dance for?" And I would be like, "I want to choreograph. Like I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to really be in the background. I want to like create it." And so as a young talent, everyone's like, "Oh, she's arrogant. She's, and I would just be like, yeah, I can do it." Like, so on my journey, as I started working with artists, I would be, asked to dance, and I would always be the one being like, "Hey, so on the hook, you need to be in the center. Hey, so on this part, you need to, look at the crowd, or hey, like the hype man shouldn't really come next to you on this part," trying to just create a show and just add value.
Yes.
I knew very early on, like, in any situation, you have to add value, or you will just kind of blend in. And so I remember I got booked on T-Pain as a freestyle dancer. And so my agent at the time, she's like, "You're just a freestyle dancer, but this is a great opportunity. Like, go in there and, kind of show your stuff, but don't give too much because, you're only getting paid to like do the freestyle thing." So I was like, okay. So I go in the rehearsal, and so they're like, he had two hype men at the time, and we were opening for Chris Brown. So we were already kind of like the underdogs, like Payne was not your normal like R&B guy. He had dreads, he had golds. It was like he was coming out of Tallahassee. And then we're opening for Chris, who's doing like Run It, like cute kid from Virginia with curly hair. So it was very much different. So I get in the rehearsal and I'm like, yeah, the two hype men, can they just stay on the outsides because it's getting cluttered? Me and the other dancer, we need like spacing. And so Payne's like, this is how we do shows. I'm like, I get it, but we're definitely, on an R&B tour. So we're doing House of Blues, like let's. So I started kind of giving him direction, and he was super open to it. So I was like, okay. So then I told the other girl, who ended up being a good friend of mine, Farida. I told her, I said, so on this part, we're going to do this like 2 counts of 8 here, you know what I mean? And on the next part, we're going to do these counts of 8, and then we're going to freestyle. So then I started adding structure. So what ended up happening was after that tour, Payne was like, "Look, I want you to choreograph for me." By then he had dropped I'm Sprung. He dropped Buy Your Drink. He had dropped Bartender. He had all these records. And then he was also like featured on a bunch of stuff. By that next summer, he had 37 number ones, and I was now not a new choreographer. I was working with a like Grammy Award winning artist, and I was like, I'm really good at kind of helping these new artists. And I just started to say, well, my gift is not only choreographing, it's actually looking at it from a big picture perspective and helping artists go from like those club performances to bigger stages. And people kind of saw what I did with that, and I started getting like different calls. Marvin McIntyre is somebody who met me. That's Big Bro. He met me very early on in my career, and he told me, he said, "You're gonna be back in 2 years and we're gonna do some work together." And sure enough, he saw me. He put me with Tierra Marie. So I had her for a little while, and then I ended up doing like Music Soul Child, and so then he was like, "I want you to work with Johnny Gill." So I'm like, okay, and I started in my career like noticing I was working with artists that not only were new artists, but then I was having seasoned artists say, "Help me kind of rejudge my show. Help me add some new," and I just got really, really, really passionate about helping people figure it out, and then watching them do it on stage and be like, "Oh, this really works," or, "Oh, I got the audience in the palm of my hands. Like I can do this." And I'm like, I'm good at this. So I started saying, I'm the artist development specialist. That's who I am. And that's why I'm super passionate about being your co-host on Dat R&B Kit, because I know it's in there.
Man. So that R&B Kit is tools.
So many tools.
It's just it's tools that one need to have every time you go out of your home or wherever you go. you have to carry these tools. And so when we talk about Dat R&B Kit, it's tools. And so as you go on this journey with us, we will be talking about those tools. And just to name a few, confidence is something that you have to have. Swag.
Sex appeal.
Style.
Vocals.
Listen, hold on. That stopped me in my tracks because yes, you got to have the vocals. If you are a performer, if you are a singer, we want you to have the vocals. You say stage presence. We talk about movement.
Mic technique. Yeah, if
that's
I see the cuffing, it's no cuffing season.
Who created that?
I feel like rappers. It looks cool, and they have no idea. It sounds crazy. And then somebody told me the other day that it's a habit from performing in the club. Cause you're on those like the mics aren't that great, so you're trying to like kind of put your voice in a vacuum.
Yes.
But yeah, it doesn't really for singers. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Vocal maintenance.
Vocal maintenance. The records. You gotta have the records. It's a lot of singers out here, and these records are subpar. So we gotta
showmanship.
Have that together.
Presentation.
Presentation, showmanship,
charisma,
style.
It's just that thing.
All the tools. We're gonna get into them,
and so we're gonna dive deep into them all. I will. I'll tell you a story. There was this one time when we started. We were about to go to Babyface and Boyz II Men concert. This would have been this was at the time my first ever live performance show. Maybe it was all of ours first time performing. And so K Wells, in his forever teaching a lesson way, he says, so we just gonna meet up. And Kevin is the type of leader to where he'd say, everybody put on the black jeans, put on the Air Force Ones, and jersey to match. Like that was our thing. If you look back at our early days, we were the guys that'll put on the jersey and the Air Force Ones to match. But this particular time, he was like, everybody just show up. Now, you're telling some high schoolers who really are just getting comfortable with ourselves. I mean, a lot of us are shy, we're timid, we don't really talk a lot, we're introverts. And so he says, just show up. So he pulls up and he just looks at all of us. He's like, don't you ever come out the house looking like that again. Don't do that. Why your pants are so high? Why your tie so tight? Why is your shirt like, I mean, he just really broke us down. Comb your hair. Man, come here. And he was that guy that'll be like, come here, say something. Waiting for you to say something to see if your breath wasn't right.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you get some chewing gum, you get some mints. Hey, man, why's your shoes like that? Hey, yo, brush your hair. Did you brush your hair today? Man, clean your eyes out. Did you put them? And so that night I learned that we have to be very, very direct and connected to just what we look like first and foremost. And the image, that day we understood that image is everything. And if we're going to be out here promoting sensuality and just the love of these lyrics that we're going to ultimately be singing, we have to present that same individual. And so you can't be Cupid doesn't lie, but then when you come to an interview, my breath smell bad.
Right, yeah.
Or my clothes wrinkle, or
because I'm gonna be like, Cupid lied. Cupid lied.
But I mean, it's just those things that I know that no matter where I go, I have my kit very, very close to me. And then some of those things were developed in artist development.
Yeah.
In choreography.
There's
staging.
some tools that we can add to your kit. There's some tools that if you are saying, I want to do this, I want to do music, I want to be an R&B artist, you got to come with that. You got to come with the passion. You have to come with the work ethic. Those are work ethic, yes. We can't give you that. Yes. I can give a million and one steps, and I've done it. And I always tell artists, like, you're hot right now, but my career is going to outlast how hot you are. So you got to have more. It has to be more to it than that. It has to be more than like you're popping on Instagram. It has to be like you really are passionate about this business, because if you are, then you will expand and you will grow and your career will mature and you will be somebody that we remember. If you're not, you're gonna be hot right now and you snapping your fingers and everybody's moving for you right now. But in a minute, you're gonna be sitting in the audience and I'll be backstage with someone else snapping their fingers, not at me, but and we'll all still be at work. You know what I mean? So I think passion has to be in there. Work ethic has to be in there.
Commitment,
style,
regimen,
hygiene. It's a big one.
And understand this, y'all. For every word we just expressed, we're gonna commit an episode to those words,
right?
So that we can break them all the way down.
Right.
The ultimate goal is to make sure that first and foremost, when you say this is what I want to do, we want to give you the tools that is going to assist you in having a career of longevity.
Right.
Because honestly, as a contributor, we don't want you to just be here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
A lot of people are having the conversation of, is R&B dead and what's going on with R&B? I believe that us doing what we're doing and educating, giving this information about what's in that kit will help the new artists and even those that are out right now.
Yeah.
Just add more to your kit.
Yeah. You never stop learning.
No.
You never stop learning and adding and growing.
Nah, we want everybody that's going to contribute to this industry, to this genre, to be really, really fully committed, but understand what they are doing. And then not just the things about like stage presence and all of that. The education part of it is we're going to peel back all of the dialogue when it's dealing with contracts and
business,
publishing and ownership and all of, because we don't want you to get a sour taste in your mouth. Yeah. Because you've entered into an agreement that's not favorable for you. And I'll share my personal experiences. I'll share my personal stories. This is a fully transparent podcast. I have nothing to hide. My highs and my lows, you as well. Yeah, right. And so from our experiences, from the information that we have, the education that we're going to be giving off, we want you to start building your kit. Right. We want you to start building your kit so that when you go into this next performance, when you go into this next radio station, when you're sitting at this table, you are fully prepared because that R&B kit is on fire. On fire. So get your notepads out. Yeah. Man, take notes. Be ready to learn. Man, take notes, but we want you to be committed to the information. Don't just get it today and then don't apply it and then come back next week, get the next word, take notes on that. Right. No, get it, retain it, and then just start walking it. Yeah. Because we're going to live it, we're going to walk it. We're going to talk it. And we're going to carry that R&B. We're going to carry it all the time, everywhere. Man. So I'm just really excited, Sakina. I'm really glad that, you are my co-host. I know that we're going to share some information that is going to be really, really dope. The thing that people don't even understand too is you have choreographed me. You have assisted me with, staging and all of those things. And so I know that with what you do and the expertise that you have, what I have and my experience, your experience, we got a lot to offer. Yeah. We got a lot to offer, man. And so just rock out with us, man. Rock out with us. It is that R&B kit. And lastly, I will say, I want people to know just how dope you are.
Well, thank you, bro.
I want people to know just how dope you are. You've been doing this for a long time. You just mentioned a lot of the artists that you've worked with. And not only are we going to be giving you guys information and giving people information and education, but we're also going to be providing an outlet. Yes. So if you are an artist that are listening to that R&B Kit, we're going to be able to present things to you so that you can now come and work alongside and work directly with Sakina and I. And so I'm excited,
Me
man.
too.
I'm excited.
Me too.
This is going to be good, man.
Super dope.
Rock with us. Subscribe to the channel.
Come holler at us on social media.
Man. Yeah, like it. Please comment when you see us.
Share.
Man, all of that. Share it, like it, comment it, turn your notifications on. And just rock with us, y'all, because this is something that we're passionate about. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't something that is dear to our heart. And I refuse to sit and just watch artists come into this game not fully prepared. Because when you aren't prepared, that's when it can get you in the chokehold.
Yeah,
and
you get burnt out faster.
And we've seen too many artists come in this game, get chewed up, swallowed because they didn't have the right preparation,
the right tools.
And they didn't have the right tools.
Yep.
They ain't had the right tools, man. So subscribe.
Get involved. Subscribe, like, share. Come talk to us. Come holler at us. Ask us questions.
Yes. Pull up on us. Pull up. Ask.
Pull up
like
on
you
us.
said, ask questions because we will take some of the questions because people have like
Lots
specific questions that they may need guidance on. And so we'll be able to extract a few of those and
talk about
answer directly the questions that are out there. And again, we are the experts, but we also will periodically have people that are come in to specifically talk about certain tools that are in those that kit, man. So it's a lot of information, y'all, a lot of education, man. But this is us, man. Again, I'm Q Parker.
I'm Sakina LeStage.
And this is Dat R&B Kit, man. We're gonna walk it, we're gonna talk it, live it, carry
that R&B Kit everywhere.
Hey man, stay with us, y'all.
Walking, talking, living, and we carry it. Dat R&B Kit. Everywhere.
What's up, y'all? I am Q Parker, and I am so excited to. What's up, y'all? I am.
Question, Reed. How would it look if you looked at this camera with the logo in the background? Because it's just a quick ad. It's a 4-second ad. Say less.
All right. What's up, y'all? I am Q Parker, and I am so excited to announce the Q Parker Summer Music Camp. So I'm calling all vocalists and aspiring producers between the ages of 13 to 17. This is a very interactive camp, and we're really excited. We will be tackling the subjects of songwriting, music business 101, intro to orchestra, performance, vocal production, and recording. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're missing one, Mike. 6.
Oh, my bad. My apologies. I know what it was. It was voice and the last one was production and recording.
Yes, so 6, right?
Yeah. So let me do that. My apologies. Photos. Here's your 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, ready? What's up, y'all? I am Q Parker, and I am so excited to announce the Q Parker Summer Music Camp. This is a interactive camp we are calling all vocalists and producers between the ages of 13 to 17. If this is you, I need your attention right now. The subjects what we will be tackling during this 2-week summer camp is songwriting, music business 101, intro to orchestra, performance, voice, and production and recording. Now I need y'all to go right now, qparkersummermusiccamp.com, and send in your audition as well as register. Limited spaces available, so I need y'all to go right now. The Q Parker Summer Music Camp. I cannot wait to see y'all.
Did you say age group again?
I did.
You said the age group?
Yeah.
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 You said 13 to 17. Okay, cool.
Cool.